The time is 5 o'clock, and here's the world news at 5. First, the top stories. Committee worried over cases of drug abuse among Ogun School students. Uproar in the House of Representatives over rejection of Southeast Development Bill. Governor Basaki says headsmen terrorizing Edo State are Boko Haram fighters. Presidency alert of army bomb attacks on maize farms. Widespread outrage greets U.S. pullout of 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. 36 bodies recovered from casino attacked by lone gunman in the Philippines. I am Tobi Joseph, bringing you the news in details shortly. Ogun State Drugs and Abuse Control Committee says it is worried about the high rate of the use and abuse of drugs and alcohol among secondary school students in the state. The committee chairman, Gregory Fafiulu, expressed the concern during a sensitization campaign of a drug-free society to secondary schools in the state at Methodist Comprehensive College, Shagamu. Fafiulu, who is also director of pharmaceutical services at the Ministry of Health, says the finding of its committee on the use and abuse of drugs and alcohol in secondary schools is worrisome. It calls for the setting up of a drug-free club in secondary schools to enlighten students on the dangers and in the use and abuse of drugs and alcohol and what they pose to their health and their future. Director of Public Health in the Health Ministry, Dr. Kuruz Yusuf, says the fight against drug use and abuse must start from childhood, with government will encourage. Students in both public and private junior secondary schools, JSS3 in Ogun State, will commence the 2017 Basic Education Certificate Examination from Monday, June 5th. The examination will end on Friday, June 9th. Education, Science and Technology Commissioner, Mrs. Wedupe Mujota, who made this known in a statement, asked the principals to put in place adequate arrangements towards a successful conduct of the examination. The House of Representatives has rejected a bill seeking to establish a commission to develop the Southeast region. The commission proposed about the bill is to receive allocation from the Federation account for the reconstruction and construction of infrastructure destroyed in the region during the Biafran War. The presentation of the bill created an uproar where it was stepped down by the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara, following the absence of his lead sponsor, Chukwuka Onyema.
Order, members, order.
Which saw lawmakers of the Southeast region in favor of the bill, while lawmakers from the North opposed it. For instance, Mohammed Abdul expressed concern about the motive of the bill at a period when the region was gripped with pro-Biafra agitation. But Tobi Joseph says the bill will further entrench unity among Nigerians and that other regions could bring such bills in the future. Dogara later put the bill into a voice vote.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. In order to be true, I'll listen.
Former National Deputy Chairman of the PDP, Chief Bode George, has cautioned people against asking President Buhari to resign because of his health condition. According to him, asking Buhari to quit office because of his health conditions is beyond politics. George, addressing newsmen in Lagos, says although he is not a member of the APC, it is not right for anybody to wish Buhari dead. The PDP leader explains that what Buhari now requires from Nigerians is prayers and wish him good health because he is a human being and only God knows his appointed time for everyone. The Senate has confirmed 15 out of the 27 nominees of President Muhammadu Buhari as resident electoral commissioners of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Those confirmed so far include Mutiu Olaleke Abuke from Ogun State, Professor Godwin Obioma from Abia State, James Apam from Benue State, Nwachukwu Oji Ebonyi State, Ilo Joseph Enugu State, and Tawe Goshwe Yewatada of Plateau State. Also confirmed are Umar Ibrahim from Taraba State, Emeka Joseph Imo State, Ibrahim Abdullahi Adamawa State, Obo Efa, Cross River State, Francis Eziono, Anambra State, and Bria Franklin, Bayelsa State. Others are Ahmed Makama from Bauchi State and Sadiq Abubakar Musa from Kaduna State. Chairman of the Senate INEC Committee, Suleiman Nazif, says they were confirmed following their clearance in the report of the Department of Security Service, Police, and the Code of Conduct Bureau, which screened the nominees. Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State says the suspected herdsmen who have been killing and raping women in the state are some of the Boko Haram fighters fleeing from the battlefield in the northeast region. The herdsmen, armed with AK-47 rifles, last week raped and killed 2 elderly women in their various farms in Ewu community in the Isha Central Local Government area. Obaseki, speaking while visiting families of the slain women, says the suspected herdsmen pose a national security threat. The threat posed by the suspected herdsmen, according to the governor, will be addressed in few weeks. The governor says he had directed the beefing up of security in the state border areas with Kogi State, which is believed to be a new haven for escaping Boko Haram fighters. Special schools are to be established by the presidency for married women. Women Affairs Minister Aisha Al-Hassan, woman is known in Abuja, says the proposed special schools will be in 2 categories. The first category is for married women who started schooling but dropped out for one reason or the other. The second category will be in form of adult literacy school to be established in all local government areas for the training of women in soap making, cake baking, local and soft drinks making, making of candles, pomade, local hairdressing, and tailoring. You're still listening to the World News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business, and sport news. Please stay with us. There has been widespread international condemnation of President Trump's announcement that the U.S. is withdrawing from the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. UN Chief Antonio Guterres' spokesman called it a major disappointment, while the European Union said it was a sad day for the world. Mr. Trump, however, said the accord punished the U.S. and would cost millions of American jobs. In an address at the White House, he said he was prepared to negotiate a new agreement or re-enter the accord on improved terms. Former U.S. President Barack Obama, who agreed to the Paris deal, immediately criticized the move, accusing the Trump administration of rejecting the future. Meanwhile, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says it is deeply disappointed by President Trump's decision. This was echoed by UK Prime Minister Theresa May, who expressed her disappointment and told Mr. Trump in a phone call that the deal protects the prosperity and security of future generations. France President Emmanuel Macron said he respected Mr. Trump's decision but believed it was a mistake both for the US and for the planet. Japan's Finance Minister Taro Aso said he's not disappointed but also feels some level of anger. Small island nations whose existence is threatened by the rising sea levels were also critical of the move. At least 36 bodies have been recovered from a casino and hotel complex in the Philippines capital, Manila, where a lone gunman opened fire overnight. Most of the dead suffocated in thick, toxic smoke after the man set fire to casino tables. The gunman, whose nationality is not yet known, began shooting at the casino in resort to World Manila in the early hours of Friday morning. Police said he later killed himself by setting himself on fire. Over the last week, militants allied to the IS have been engaged in street battles in the far south of the Philippines. In business, the presidency has alerted of the invasion of army worms in farmlands, likely to reduce the production of maize in the country this year. Unless the army worms are wiped out, the Agriculture Ministry says they could reduce the nation's maize production by 90%. Agriculture and Rural Development Minister Chief Aldo Obe will raise the alarm at a meeting with agriculture commissioners from the 32 states in Abuja, estimated that the army worms affected 700,000 hectares of farmland planted with maize. The ministry's Deputy Director of Horticulture, Mike Kano, told the meeting that the army worms, which entered Nigeria from Benin Republic, destroyed farmlands in Oyo State in 2016. Since then, Kano says the army worms, which moved en masse and traveled at 100 kilometers per hour, have spread to other states. The ones that Nigeria may resort to massive importation of maize of the army worms if the army worms are not contained, as the country now produced only 10 million metric tons out of 15 million metric tons it consumes yearly. Final on the World News at 5, Sport News. Ahmed Musa struck twice as Nigeria cruised past Togo 3-0 in an international friendly played in Paris. Musa, who had had a quiet season with his English Premier League outfit Leicester City, led in the third minute of the game when Alex Iwobi's cross was miscued by goalkeeper Saban Alassani. The Generals kept pushing and got the second goal in the 17th minute as the forward completed his brace thanks to Iwobi's assist. A third goal arrived 10 minutes later as Nigeria continued to dominate with Kelechi Iheanacho tucking home an assist from Ogenekaro Etebo. Nigeria have climbed 2 places in the latest FIFA ranking released by the football governing body on Thursday. The Super Eagles are now ranked 38th in the world as against the 40th position in the last ranking. The team is also rated 4th best in Africa. Egypt are top dogs in Africa and they are tailed by Senegal and the current African champions Cameroon. Brazil are the world leaders and are followed by South American rivals Argentina, Germany, Chile, and Colombia to make the top 5 best teams in the world. That was the World News at 5. And just before we go, the major stories once again. Committee worried about cases of drug abuse among open school students. All pride, House of Representatives over rejection of the Southeast Development Commission bill. Governor Obaseki says headsmen terrorizing Edo State are Boko Haram fighters. Presidency alerts of army worm attacks on maize farms. On the foreign scene, we told you that widespread outrage has greeted the US pullout of 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. We also told you that 36 bodies have been recovered from a casino attacked by a lone gunman in the Philippines. For more stories or to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good evening.